Hey, what's up, guys? This is Brandon with the Jefe Media Podcast, where we sit down with game changers in their respective industries. Today, I'm sitting down with the hilarious, fabulous Yubi from Yubitube.
Yes, Yubitube. Right? You be celebrito.
You be tripping, like
you be
said?
tripping.
You be tripping. I know, right? We be tripping. The purpose of today's episode is to learn how we can combine comedy into your content marketing strategy. Mm-hmm. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is amazing. I love the space.
Yeah. Shout out to Pure Space. Yeah, no, this place is really nice. Actually, what sold me was the bricks.
Yeah.
Because it kind of like it symbolized for me like brick by brick. You know, you build a company brick by brick.
Yes.
You build a business, you build yourself.
Absolutely.
Brick by brick, little by little. So that's kind of what sold me. And then the lighting too. I do like the lighting. Looks really good.
Absolutely.
And then you came like matching.
I didn't even realize. I forgot that I was just like, you sent me where the location was. But yeah, I just wanted to feel comfortable.
Yeah,
and
you know,
businessy.
You look good. You look good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Nice that you came looking like a little businessy.
I know,
like
I'm very businessy. I'm like,
it's
respect.
Like, what's that style called? Is like the Carlton almost, or what is it? Like a college, almost like a college.
I guess you can say that. I don't really know.
It looks good though.
Thank you.
I like the whole thing.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe,
and
for sure.
And shout out to you because you said tomorrow you're going to Mexico.
Yeah, I'm going to Mexico.
And so you made it out here. It's a very rare thing for LA people, right?
Yeah. So I'm like first generation. So that's my parents. They are from Mexico, and they came out to the States, I guess, when they were like teenagers and started working. And then, you know, I actually was born in Mexico, but then I was raised in the States, California,
really?
and then Arizona when I was like 12.
So when you came to the United States, like at 12?
I was like 1.
Oh, you were 1?
I was like, but really? I spoke Spanish for the first 5 years, and then I learned. You still
speak Spanish?
Yeah,
obviously.
Fluently. People don't even realize because I don't have an accent.
¿Hablas español?
Hablo muy bien el español.
Claro que sí.
Mira, déjame contarte una cosa. Si te vayas a meter conmigo, veo, si no te voy a dar una.
Right.
I can go telenovela style.
La chancla or qué?
La chancla, yeah. So yeah, I do a little bit of everything. I'm mainly comedy. I've directed. I'm a writer. I've produced. I've just all around girl. I love to edit, make TikToks. I have a YouTube channel. So it's really cool to be in this field and be in LA. I think feel like I'm literally living the dream. Like for sure. So cool.
Yeah, no, I have so many questions. I mean, you said you're going to Guadalajara. What part, by the way?
Tepatitlan.
Because I'm going next month.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
I'm going to the main city and Tapalpa.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah. Do you know where that's at?
No.
It's like a ranch, but
it's a good one.
I'm going there. Too. So if you have any recommendations in Guadalajara, anything, let me know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I will, absolutely.
It will be my first time.
Tequila is a place that I'm going to be visiting. So
it's
for sure. Tequila and Tlaquepaque. It's like all little parts around Guadalajara from around the center and stuff.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I don't know what to expect, but I do want to get out of town. So looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So what projects? I mean, obviously, I appreciate you being here. I actually met you a couple years ago. I think it was like before pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
My buddy Brian. I don't know if you remember Brian. He used to work with JPL, the NASA company. And we were at a Halloween party, and I remember you were like entertaining the whole party.
I probably was. I don't even remember, but I probably was.
I think you said you didn't remember.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, you were entertaining the whole party, and I was like, dude, who is this girl? Like, and I think we got like each other's Instagrams or whatnot, and then I know we met one other time, like at a coffee shop. We were just like chatting and stuff, and I also went to one of your comedy shows. Like,
oh my gosh.
And it was like around this time. I think it was like a 420 thing.
Yeah.
And I think that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah. A lot has happened.
What has happened? How has UB evolved since?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to share. I think 2020 changed my life for sure. COVID was, I think, really bad, but really good for a lot of people. Yeah. I just moved out to LA 2019, the summer of it. And I started taking acting classes, taking comedy, working a little bit on my stand-up. And I came with this dream, and I felt like I got an agent, but I felt like I wasn't being casted. I felt like I'm like, oh my God, this is harder than I thought. And when COVID happened, I, of course, lost my job, and my parents told me, come to Mexico, come to the ranch, because they have a ranch in Mexico. And I did. I went to the ranch, and I was very bored for 4 months. Mind you, luckily, the government helped us a little bit, so I was collecting some money. And I felt like it was a paid vacation. Here I am with the cows, but then I started getting really bored. And I decided to create an entire web series. 13 episodes. It's currently on my YouTube channel if you want to check them out.
I got to binge watch that.
Yeah, Yubitube, Yubitube. And each episode is about 6 to 10 minutes.
How many people were involved in those projects?
Me and my little brother.
Oh, wow.
And my
that's
dad.
Awesome.
That's
it.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
So I play multiple characters.
This production today, I have my dad here.
Yeah, no, that's how it starts, right? That's how it starts. But
sure.
it's you know, I play multiple characters, so I'm kind of like the Eddie Murphy, or like the, you know, when you play multiple characters, like the Nutty Professor. Yeah. So I learned how to edit and put like all of these characters in one frame, and I play the mom, the dad, myself as the protagonist, and Joaquin, which is the love interest. And all of these characters, you know, just everything happened in chaos, though, because the first episode, I didn't even know what the heck I was making, but I was doing something. And that's the thing that I think you can apply this to so much things in your life. When you don't know what you're doing, just start.
It's like I'm a big sports guy, so I'm in the sports world, and there's a guy named Deion Sanders. I don't know if you know him. They call him Primetime. But he talks about keep making plays. Like, the light ain't on you right now, quote unquote. Keep making plays. Like, keep doing it.
Yeah, consistency.
Because you'll learn throughout the journey, the process, and throughout the way. And, you know, like what you said, just consistency, and you just got to get it out of your system.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I didn't know what I was doing, and I started with one little. At first, it was supposed to be a skit. Like, it was only going to be like 30 seconds. But like, because I dressed up as my dad, I put on the hat.
Oh, really?
I literally put his pants on. I started walking around. Hela, vete a hacerme de comer, cabrón. And then she's like, and then everybody's cracking up, and I just like love making people laugh. Like, I love making people laugh. And so then my mom, like, I was like, Mom, you know what? I'm gonna make you guys act. I told my mom and my dad, I'm like, you guys are gonna be actors, right? I auditioned them, and they were really bad. Like, Mom, I love you, pero like.
But
she had thrown the chancla. She was looking at the camera. She's like, vete a limpiar tu cuarto.
Yeah.
Mom, no. I'm sorry, but I have to fire you as an actress. Like, you can't play mom.
Yeah.
You didn't get the part. Sorry. So I had to play mom.
Oh, she didn't get the part?
She didn't get the part. Okay. So I had to play the mom. So I put a towel over my head with glasses, and I put on her shirts and subile. Ay, mija. ¿Cuándo vas a encontrarte un novio, mija? Like, you know what I mean? I just became her, and it's really fun. But anyways, I made this series.
Your dad and your brother, they're natural. So.
Yeah. Oh, my dad was actually really good. And I was like, Dad, I would love for you to play dad, but you can't play dad because it'd be weird if I'm playing mom and you're playing dad. Like, that's not going to work. So you can play El Tío. So he has the role as El Tío.
Okay.
And then my little brother plays my little brother. He's actually pretty okay, you know, so.
Okay, cool. You have one sibling, two siblings, or?
I am one of 5, including the 5. So I'm second. So I have an older sister, me, a younger sister, and 2 little brothers.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool,
my little brothers are like 18 now, and like 19 and 17.
Yeah.
And then I'm 29 years old, and
29 years young.
Young. Here we go.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Well, you look like 20.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22.
There we go. Well, so what have you been up to? I mean, I know you're telling me about this series. What else? I know I've seen some stuff like on TikTok, things that you're doing. Like, what's new with you?
I would like to actually transition into that. Yeah. So that from how I said that this series changed my life is that after I finished this series, this is where my opportunities opened up. Like, because, I mean, mind you, I didn't get really paid for this series. I also like... but it doesn't matter to me about money. I think what matters is the fact that I was doing it. And because I was doing it, I ended up going to a restaurant, and the owner of the restaurant, I was talking to them about my series, and he's like, "Oh, are you in the entertainment industry?" And I said, "No, it's really hard to get in." And then he's like, "Oh, well, we're looking for drivers right now." Like, drivers. I was like, what do you mean drivers? You get your commercial driver's license and you join a union. This is the 399 union. So pretty much trailers, things that need to be moved on production on
Yeah,
big
yeah,
sets.
yeah, yeah.
Who moves them? The 399 union. And he brought me into
wow.
that, and that's really hard to get in.
Yeah.
And that job changed my life because it opened the doors for me to be able to make good money, save
sure.
the money, and start producing.
Awesome.
And right now, what I'm currently working on is my sequel to so El Rancho, that character Joaquin. I made a spin-off off of him,
Okay,
and now
cool.
he's coming to LA because Yubi leaves the ranch to come back to LA.
Okay.
So he comes to LA to look for her because he's like, you have to give me another chance. So
Oh, wow.
it's really funny. The opening
So
scene.
that and
yeah.
you play him, right?
Yeah, I play
You're
Joaquin
him?
and I
Okay.
play Yubi. So I
Okay,
play the
cool,
two
cool,
characters. But it's a big comedy, and I've filmed already 7 episodes, so I've produced the whole thing.
Is
And
it here in LA?
yeah, here in LA. Actually, yesterday I filmed
Oh, really?
an episode. Yeah,
Oh,
it was
wow.
a party scene.
Yeah, I gotta watch all of those.
I mean, those haven't came out yet.
Well, just for
But
the
the El
first
Rancho,
series,
yeah,
the
yeah.
El Rancho.
It's really fun.
I'll definitely watch those. So curious. Okay, so you started working as a driver in production.
Yeah.
And so are you still kind of doing that right now?
Right
or?
now, the show ended. I was working
Okay.
with Lincoln Lawyer, and that show just ended. So I am now not working with Lincoln Lawyer. So I'm kind of unemployed.
You're
but
a
right
free
now,
agent.
yeah, but I'm unemployed. But in a way, I'm not unemployed because
Okay.
now I have the liberty to produce my series because I have time.
For sure.
And then also help restaurants with marketing
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and editing and.
Everything.
Pretty much, yeah. I just produced a commercial for Calaveras. I produced it and directed it, and that
Awesome.
was last week. So my life's been really busy. I also do headshots. I'm always hustling, trying to find different
sure,
ways
for sure.
to do things.
And that's kind of what I wanted to transition into, like for businesses or
Yeah.
personal brands out there, like how they can incorporate comedy
Yeah.
into their marketing strategy.
Yeah.
Like, for example, you were saying that you're working with this restaurant. Maybe like how can these different XYZ companies
Yes.
do that? Because I've seen it more and more and more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's about story. So if you have story, you're really onto something because stories is what we as humans we want to connect with others, and
For
if something is relatable and it's like you can send that to your friend.
Yeah.
If you could see a video and you could be like, oh my god, this, like, hey yo Pedro, this is you, bro, let me send
Yeah,
you
yeah,
that
yeah.
video. It's working because people are sharing because they relate. It's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
relatable.
No, for sure.
And that in a way pushes your whatever you're trying to
For
sell or your brand or your business to be seen by more
For
people.
sure, for
So
sure.
the more you incorporate comedy, the more like you're able to connect with people like that. This last commercial, Calaveras, there needed to be 2 actresses, and they were talking to me about like, hey, like, could we just like skip the acting and just go straight to the food?
Yeah.
And I was like, how many times do we see videos of
Yeah.
just like people throwing their product at us? But if you do a story, if you get creative with how you want to send your message, then boom, you're onto something.
Okay, cool. Well, good news is that I do have a Mexican restaurant client.
Yeah?
And so we're going to have to do something for
Hell
sure.
yeah.
Because, I mean, I do whatever I got to do on the marketing side.
Yeah.
But, like with collaborators like you and yourself,
Yeah.
like can make something a lot more
Absolutely.
in depth, with stories and
Yeah.
whatnot. So
It's about the people. It's about who you decide to cast too. Like interesting people. We want to see more interesting people. There's a lot of just, the same old.
For sure.
And I think like finding someone, like when I meet people, I could see things in them. I could be like,
sure.
oh my God, you're talented. Like I could see when somebody is forcing something that's not them.
yeah,
But everybody's in their own journey, and
for sure.
everybody's gonna figure it out eventually. But
Yeah.
if I find somebody that I'm like, dude, you have this look, I don't know, something about you, and you can cast them into something, and then, oh my God, you never know like what could happen.
You have a pretty good sense of intuition.
Yeah,
where
I
you
do.
Can,
Yeah.
you feel it. I wanted to ask you, I guess more or less like kind of transition into like who are some of the guys or some of the people you admire in terms of like in the comedy industry? Like who are some of those people that
God,
you
there's
like
so
their
many.
storylines?
Yeah. You know, somebody that I was actually just listening to in Audible, I listen to a lot Audible when I'm like cleaning and stuff, is Lily Singh. I really admire her because she's a go-getter. You know, she's a first generation too, and she comes to like, you know, from Indian family.
She's Indian?
She's from Canada, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's Canada. And she started her YouTube channel because, like, you know, she was like really depressed and she was just really sad. She just wanted to make people laugh. And dude, she just like, her hustle, her consistency, her ability to just work, communicate, entertain, is just so inspiring because it's like, if you really want it, you can have it. And it's like, she's extremely successful. She did a comedy tour, like all around like the world, I feel like. And I love her, and like I'm really like following her advice on her Audible book, and it's just like I'm always looking to get inspiration from others. And
she's a comedian?
She's a comedian, yeah.
I wanted to show you this.
She did her own show, like a late night show, like Lily Singh, like Tonight Show type thing, yeah.
I wanted to show you this content because it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. She's like, do you know her?
Incredible that no matter how old a man becomes, he never truly loses the idea of becoming a professional athlete. That never goes away. It just lingers back there. It's a little plan D.
She's funny.
I just gotta hit the gym a couple more days. Apply myself.
She's great.
This is why men wear jerseys. They're not fans. They're like, I could sub. Do you need a sub?
I know, right? This is me
I
right
go
here.
straight in.
I love it.
I'm already in you.
See, but you relate, right?
Yeah, no, 100%,
You relate.
100%. 100%. And I sent this to men, and I guess one of the kind of the questions that I had to kind of add on this is like, for yourself, like what demographic do you typically tend to touch on in terms of like men or women or Hispanic, or is it
actually Hispanics a lot.
Yeah.
Like my TikTok, for example, I've tried to do like TikToks that like don't cater to Hispanics, and they always bomb. But the moment I like do something about my dad, something in el rancho, like my mom like trying to flip a tortilla and me like failing at it, like people love it. And I feel like the algorithm like sees me as somebody that's like, oh, this is a Latina. We push that, you know what I mean? Like if I'm trying to market, like, I'm sorry, but like a very bougie like restaurant,
it's not your niche.
It's not really my niche. Like it won't work. But if I try to market like calaveras, or I try to market Don Chente, you know what I mean? Like people like Latinos, like the algorithm gets pushed first to Latinos before anything else. I feel like if I were to switch to like the bougie, I'd have to start completely new TikTok and start like really focusing on that. I mean, you can pivot, but one thing that you need to know as a business owner or whatever is who is your audience? Like who's your, like, who are you trying to target? Like if I do a TikTok, am I talking just mainly about makeup? Who am I as a person? Like be yourself. Like I know we have so many people that we admire online, but I feel like the more that you are yourself,
for sure,
those people will come to you. Like my dad would always say, pa todo hay gente. With anything, whether you want to sell something, whether you want to work with a specific business, whether you just want to focus on chickens. There are people who are big lovers on the types of chickens, the sizes, and crops, or being a plumber. You know what I mean? There's little bubbles everywhere. It's just like, where do you fit in, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, like, kind of like what I'm thinking about is like what you said too, like for the companies, like how important it is. Like it could be just a regular company or personal brand, whatever. Like people don't want to just see an ad. Like they don't want to just see an ad. And like what you're talking about with like the storytelling and like niching down, you can get a lot more response on these different platforms when you are doing these things. And like, you know, people are kind of like, not everyone obviously, but some people are still like in the prehistoric times where they're like, just like they put an ad out there like for XYZ product or service, and like people don't care. You know, people want to have an emotional connection,
of course,
community with these brands and companies.
Yeah,
so.
You know, there was this one video I saw on TikTok of this woman in her restaurant, and it was like empty, and her daughter posted the video of just like this is my mom. Like, she's like, she just wants 2 customers to come in, right?
Yeah.
And with the music that she added it, with that emotion, like we see our own parents in that position, like street vendors in that position. And it's just like that video like was touching, and she put the address. Tell me why the next day sold out. Line out the door. TikTok, man, I'm telling you. And it's just like trying to like you just have to learn how to connect with people. Like just be genuine, be real. Like and the thing is, a lot of people don't realize that they think it's so hard to post a video on TikTok. Download the app CapCut. This is not sponsored by CapCut, but it is a free app that makes editing so simple. You could detach sounds, you could screen record music, and then add the sound. Be careful with copyright. And create a 30-minute little commercial, or invite influencers. If you have a little bit of money to spend, like literally pull an influencer that you admire from the community and tell them, hey, like, let's do a video about this business to help support. We have to support one another. You know what I mean? I can't be hiding my little, like on how I work. I don't want to be a gatekeeper. Like, I want you to succeed. I want the people that I am around to succeed. For sure. And we have to help each other out, especially Latinos, man. We're so quick to like hate on each other when they're being successful, and it's super important that we raise each other up, that we give each other the right advice.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, like, if you look at the Jewish community, they help each other. You know what I mean? Like, and the Latino community, they're such hard workers. You know, I think with a little bit of education and doing things like this, where we're collaborating and, you know, working together, can kind of spread a little bit of more awareness on how we can all win.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. And I feel like we're going somewhere as Latinos, like, especially like people like me that are millennials that like, you know, are in their 30s. A lot of them are extremely more supportive than you know, the traditionalists.
Yeah, instead of looking for
mean?
like the bad or the whatever, the negative, look for the positive and whatever you're seeing or interacting with, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, shout out to you. And that's why, you know, like, I wanted to kind of bring you on today, because I know that you're a pillar in the Latino community. And I know we have a lot of work to do. So,
yeah, we do.
So, yeah, no.
But I'm excited. I love working.
Yeah. No, it's 100%.
I love bringing community together. I think that's the goal that a lot of people forget. And is like, if you're depressed, if you're like sad and you don't know what to do, it's just like you have to think, how can I bring people together? You know, the more that you could think about that, or how could I help raise other people up? Then you're onto something. Like, really, like, whether it be like your business with jewelry, like, you know, your last
Naughty and Low.
Yeah, she was amazing, by the way. I really like her way of thinking. But she even said it herself in your last podcast, was that it's just like her jewelry business is more than just the jewelry. It's about community, connecting with people, going to events. Like, you know, with my series, I'm creating a little show, but what I love the most about what I'm doing is not just the story that I'm telling, but like seeing all my cast members and my crew members mingle, get to know one another, and they're like, hey, let's go grab coffee. Connecting people. For sure. And that, oh my God, I get the chills just thinking about that. Makes me so happy, is like creating more opportunities for them.
Yeah, last year I spoke to somebody, I won't say who it is, but he's a leader in the community. And I asked him, I was like, hey, like, what do you recommend for someone to do when they're like feeling like stuck more or less in a way, or not necessarily depressed, but like, you know, they hit a wall or whatever. And he said to just get involved. And like everything that you're saying,
get involved.
Here, like get involved and make it less about yourself and more about others. And that kind of, I think, jumpstarts you.
Yes.
Into freeing up the energy, you know, like making it flow more or less. So that's awesome that you know, that you're directing and you're telling me, you know, these different things that you're doing, like coaching your mom in different ways. And that kind of, it correlates directly into like the whole personal branding stuff too, like people that are in their specific niche. And like, for example, myself, I do a lot of like coaching, consulting for like personal brands. And so I have to get them on camera, and then they're like not as comfortable, but it's like the same thing that what you're doing, and you're doing a great job. And
thank you.
And, you know, let's just like keep doing it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This is great. I love what you're doing too. Like this is you're doing it, you know, and that's what's important.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. But we got to do it.
Exactly.
We got to continue going. You know. It is what it is. You got to keep going. You got to keep doing it, or I don't know. You're gonna.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think it's about growth. We just always have to grow. You know what I mean? We always have to want to be better than our past selves. For sure. You know,
Every
and
day.
it's like. And
brick by brick.
Yeah, brick by brick. Exactly.
Brick.
Bringing it back to the bricks, brick by brick, and making sure that the bottom of the bricks is like very strong, solid.
For sure.
But that took a lot of my 20s for me to build. It took a lot of.
Shout out to your parents.
Yeah.
Took a lot. The foundation right there.
The foundation, exactly. Parents, and you're right actually about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we forget that. It's so important to have family when you're a baby, when you're growing up with community. I just picked up a baby the other day, and the baby was like, oh my God, he doesn't cry, like he's so happy. And then he's like, oh girl, you have no idea how many people have picked up that baby. Like he's around so many people, but this baby's gonna grow up just like surrounded with love and community, and that's what we need. We it's so bad to isolate yourself. Like if you're isolated and depressed, you need to find a group of moms to hang out with. You need to go join a running crew, you know, stay active, take care of yourself. The moment you put yourself first, kind of like the airplane, they say you have to first give yourself
take care of yourself first.
You can help other people.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with that. So if anything is like, love yourself, and then most importantly, be grateful for the littlest things in your life. Whether you're struggling with something, whether you're going through an emotional roller coaster, don't forget to breathe and remind yourself to be grateful that you could see, that you can move your hands, that you have a car, you have a roof over your head.
For sure.
The moment you take those steps, like your life will begin to change, and you will attract a better energy, frequency, whatever, and you can manifest whatever you want in your life.
I was kind of thinking it, but I didn't say it, but like kind of like even the little thing, like it's not a little, it's a big thing. How you got that job with the commercial driving. And it's like you're attracting it, you know, because like how I see it, like you're like, I see you already, like you're successful and you're it now, but where everyone else realizes it and sees it, you know, I see it like it's happening, and it's like coming more, it's coming now, you know, so it's the little things, but it's the big things too.
There's music.
So. I know, I hear it.
Slow down.
I know.
No, but thank you so much. Yeah, you're
no,
right.
I see it in you, and I think like just continuing to incorporate those little things like gratitude. Nothing will stop you, because like you have the pure natural ability. Like you said, you see things, I see things too, you know. I know women have a bit better intuition, but I know like as long as you continue on the path, and if you want it, of course it will be given to you. I see it for sure.
Thank you.
No, 100%. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
I wanted to transition a little bit into platforms, the social media platforms, because obviously those are some of the main ways that people consume content. And like, what are your recommendations from a director, from a comedian, and kind of incorporating that over to the companies and personal brands, etc.? What are the like top 3 platforms you recommend for them to use for their campaigns? Yeah,
definitely TikTok. The next, I would say Instagram. I feel like Instagram's your resume, because when people follow you, like they immediately look at your. So for me, it's like less now about taking my little selfies. I mean, I do that in my stories always. But as far as like the post, all the time, I always see 11. I love that number. But as far as the post, see, I always see that number. And I always see that number. I always get lucky with parking.
We started at 11:11, and not intentionally.
I know we did. We started this podcast at 11. How crazy is that, right?
And that wasn't intentional.
That is not intentional. And I was like, oh my God, I even said it in the beginning. You could like recap. We started at 11:11, but I always see that number. I always good things happen to me in that number. I always say I always get lucky with parking. I always get lucky with parking. I always say I always attract good people in my life. I always attract good people. Like what you speak, you manifest.
You've been reading books.
I mean, honestly, podcasts, Audible, just
awesome.
like literally
a lot of self-love.
A lot of self-love.
Good.
A lot of self-love.
That's what's up.
Hey.
Me too.
No, but for real, going back to the social medias, it's TikTok, Instagram, and my third one, I would say YouTube. Yeah, YouTube is really good. Especially, I think I'm not taking advantage of the little stories. The shorts.
Yeah.
I think there is so much opportunity in shorts.
Yeah, I did a short like the other day, and I'm like, what the heck? I did a short the other day, and it got like, I don't know, a couple thousand views, like real fast, you know, and I got some subscribers from it or what have you. So.
TikTok might actually, I don't know if they're going to ban it, but if they do, I feel like there's
I
going
don't
to
think
be.
they're going to ban it.
I don't think so either, but you never know, right?
Yeah.
But I think to start already with the shorts, like you could really like blow. I feel like if they did ban it, like YouTube Shorts is where it's going to be at. You know what I mean? So it's like might as well get a head start on YouTube Shorts. Use CapCut. Get creative. Literally just do different shots. Watch YouTube videos on how to edit. Like, you could do it. Stop being lazy. Like, you got this. Takes 5 seconds.
Or hire someone like yourself.
Or hire me.
Yeah.
Call me. Beat me if you want to reach me. Mira, papi, ya tú sabes. Yo puedo traer tu negocio hasta acá arriba.
There we go.
I don't really talk like that, but.
No. It's good. So YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram.
Yeah.
Those are the top 3 platforms. I mean, no, for sure. These companies do need to incorporate creative into their content. It can't just be, you know, like another ad. It has to have like some story behind. It has to have education. That's another thing that I kind of share. Like to something that I've learned as well. How educational content it gets a lot of response from it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So cool.
Yeah. Creating meetups too is really good. Like it's really good for business. Like having people like meet certain places. I mean, like TikTok, for example, I needed actors, like background actors, and I literally went on TikTok and I was like, hey guys, I'm looking for background actors, and I had, I think, like 1,000 comments of people who were down to be actors. I mean, mind you, a lot of them will message, I'm down to be actor, and then they like don't show up.
It's the LA.
The thing is, you have to understand, it's just like, that says a lot about who you are as a person. It's just like your word means something. You know what I mean? And the thing is, for me, it's just like, I won't ever work with you again. It's like, you're really like cutting that tie, and it sucks. Like, I still want the best for you. I don't hate you.
You create the boundary.
But yeah, it's just like really like follow through with your word. Like, be honest. The more honest you are, like
transparent, you know?
Like set boundaries, like tell me if something bothers you. Don't keep it to yourself, because how am I supposed to know? All I know is that I sense an energy from you that you don't like me, and I don't know why. I didn't do anything to you, but little do I realize that this hurt your feelings like yesterday, and you never spoke. Yeah. So it's like, you don't have to sit in that feeling if you communicate, set your boundaries, like, and then it's also the way you talk to people, the way you treat people. Like, if you want to have a conversation with me on my DMs, you slide into my DMs and you're just like, hi, I'm sorry, but like, I have a million messages. But if you say, hey, I found your YouTube channel and I really loved like episode 3 because of this, this, and this. Like, I love what you're doing, and I would really like the opportunity to have a coffee with you. Yeah. Oh my God. Like, that like already is like, you're complimenting me. You're making me feel like really good.
You're the most important person. You're the most important person in the world right now.
Yeah, but it's just like, that's so valuable. You know what I mean? Compared to just hi or hey, can we get coffee?
Yeah, you're doing your due diligence. You're learning more about the other person, and I think at the end of the day, it's almost like a like attracts like in a way. Like, for example, if you're doing it, you're investing time, energy, resource, etc. You know, and then this other entity, person, etc. It's not gonna mix, you know? So I think that's a way to kind of weed out the people that you don't need to work with, like you said.
I think if you really want to learn from somebody or be a part of somebody's, like, I guess not say inner circle, because that takes a lot of time, energy, and effort, but if you want to like really like I said, have a coffee with me. I value my time. Like, the older I get,
for sure,
I value my time more than I ever have before, because it is the only thing I have right now. You know,
you're giving you're putting more self-love into yourself.
Yes.
Like that's really what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I do believe that my time is extremely valuable. And it's like, if you are not going to make an effort to, like, say you want to grab a coffee.
Yeah.
And you just are like, hey, let's just grab a coffee. And I don't even know you.
Mm-hmm.
I just have so much like going on in my life that it's just like, okay, why should I grab a coffee with you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just don't have the time for that right now. But
Yeah.
if you come at me like I said, complimenting me,
Mm-hmm.
saying something specific about my work,
Yeah.
and then like adding value of like, hey, I'm really good at like, I really want to learn directing. I really want to learn like assistant directing or editing. I want to learn through you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll support you in this way, X, Y, and Z. It gives me more reason to be like, there's value in me having a coffee with you, because
sure.
I want to help people. Like
For
I
sure,
do.
for sure.
But you have to want to help yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't take the horse. You can't make the horse drink. You could take the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink.
Exactly.
That's saying.
Exactly. And yeah, so, but yeah, that's just sort of my advice to anybody that ever wants to reach out to anybody, not just me, but like anybody that is being consistent or like leveling up in their life, you know?
No, well, you know what? Just not to continue to like tell you that you are like your levels have grown since the last time I seen you, but
Thank you.
They really have grown. Like, just like the way that you're talking and the way that you're expressing yourself, I can tell that you've been putting a lot of time and energy in creating this new Yubi.
Thank you.
And so yeah, congratulations for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I do love myself a lot, and
yeah.
I care about people. I have very high empathy, but I'm learning to have boundaries and
For sure.
to know when to say yes, to know when to say no. And you know, I believe in God, and I believe that God is moving through me, because it's not even me anymore. I feel like it's God, and it's like
you're the channel.
Yeah, I'm the channel, and I feel like when I'm making even my series of Joaquin, I just feel like it's bigger than me now. And it's like, I can't wait to have like that premiere night where all my friends come out and we watch this movie. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And I'm just like bringing more people together. Like, it's just like, oh, it's so good.
So since you touched up on the how God is channeling through you.
Yeah.
What is one way that you find inspiration? You know, I mean, maybe one way, if you want to share, if you can share, like maybe like for myself, like one of the ways that I kind of get into the energies flowing is like doing stuff like this.
Yeah,
obviously,
absolutely.
You know? Like for sure, it's like new ideas, new energy, new exchange, new community. Another thing too, I like playing sports. I say it on all my podcasts. I'm in a men's league. Yesterday we won the playoff first round.
Yeah, that's what's up.
And so that really gets me like the energy flowing. Do you have anything like a go-to? Like maybe it's going to the ranch, interacting with family, traveling. Like, is there something that kind of inspires you?
I feel like I get inspired.
You're like everything.
Literally every day through different like ways, but I really believe in balance. If you work a lot, it's not good to work a lot. It's so good to just like.
That was me last week. I was so freaking.
You get burnt out.
I was so like lethargic last week.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
I was telling my dad. I was telling like a few other people too.
Yeah.
And I was like, this week, like starting yesterday, I was like, I felt so renewed.
Yeah.
And I think it was because of the working.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You need to find time to travel too. Traveling is so good for you. I always get inspiration through travel, but I also get inspiration through just conversation with friends, or just like just observing how people talk to one another, how people talk, just little things, little quirks and things about people. Like if somebody like says, even like when somebody laughs at something stupid that somebody did, I will like get inspiration from that and write it down. I get inspiration through old movies like White Chicks and Mean Girls. Like in my series, I have the line where she's like, "Get in, bitch, we're going shopping." And I actually put that in my series when my roommate's picking me up. And,
oh, really?
And funny. Then I have another series where
well,
it's
they
just
say
like,
that all artists get inspired by other artists.
Yeah.
So it's like, and another thing too, there's nothing new under the sun.
Nothing, exactly.
You know?
I truly believe that.
Yeah.
It's just like steal like an artist, because it's like everything's already out there. It's just like just getting inspiration and creating your own work with it to inspire other people. Yeah, it's really cool.
100%. Yeah, no, that's interesting, and like that's awesome that you're getting inspired by the littlest, minutest details, and that's like just keep tapping into that, because I think you're on your way. You're on your way.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm excited, and be excited every day. Find something to be excited about. Like, I always like, I'm just grateful to be alive, to be honest with you. Just
Like
to
what
be
you
able
said,
to breathe.
you have your faculties, like you have to be grateful. Like even all your faculties are like working, like your fingers, your eyes, everything is like, all those little things add into your whole being.
Yeah.
But
don't let fear stop you from what you're meant to be doing. I think a lot of times we get stuck in a job like that maybe we don't like, or we feel like we don't belong, just because, remember how I mentioned how we have certain, like even in high school, how there's like the popular crowd, the nerds.
Were
the
you
thespian.
a class clown, by the way, or?
I was a thespian girl, so I'm a big theater girl.
Oh, cool.
I played,
awesome.
I played basketball. I was from cross country.
You're flamboyant.
Yes,
is that the word?
very like out there, very
Expressive.
happy,
You were very
expressive,
Yeah. Okay,
exactly. But just like how there's like certain like for example, if I like, sometimes I felt like the popular crowd like didn't really like me sometimes, and it's like
because you were being yourself.
Yeah, but the thing is, I was a part of like the thespian group. Like I belonged with the theater people because like I could fully be myself and I was fully accepted. But it's sort of like if you're with a group of, say, girls that maybe like they're not like, they look at you and they're just like, oh my God, like you do not have a Coach bag like us. Like, I'm sorry. You know, like no hate to the girls that like Coach bags, but they're in their own little inner circle. And then you go home and you're feeling like nobody likes me. No, you're just with the wrong crowd. You need to go find your vibe. Like if you love animals, and like go hang out with the people that love animals and volunteer all the time. If you love,
or people just keeping it real.
If you're like a hip hop dancer, like you're gonna hang out with the dance community because that's your circle. It's like that's the people that you need to surround yourself with. Sure. So if you're at a job that you feel like your boss and everybody around you just like you're just so unhappy, you just need to find a new like company that has like the same values as you, the same vibe and energy, because that's also, even as a company owner, you want to bring in people that have that energy that you want to be around. You know, if you're a boss that just like, oh man, I can apply this to so many things, even like TV shows. Like if you're just like a really shitty director, you're at the top. You're influencing everybody below you. And me as a driver, I'm like, damn, why is everybody in a bad mood? Yeah. Literally, I don't even realize that like this director just yelled at everybody and everybody just hates their life. You know,
directing, I feel, has a lot to do with emotional intelligence. And like back to the beginning of the conversation where you said you can sense things. Like I think that's so important into directing, because then you could get a sense of what this person is feeling or thinking, and you can kind of guide them into doing what you want them to do on camera. Or even in everyday life and how you interact with people, like. You know,
but my point is that it starts with the people at the top, because the people with power.
You're at the top. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I don't think I'm at the top right now. I mean, that's what when I'm like in my own little shoots, like when I do produce like my set, then yes, I am at the top. But because I'm at the top, because I'm the producer, I'm the director, like everybody always has a good time on my my set. Everybody, I remind, even like, because the thing about being on set, there's a lot of hurry up and wait, like you're just sitting around. But as I see them sitting around and I'm directing, I have like a million things going on in my mind because I'm on a time frame. I'm paying everybody, and it's like I'm stressed the fuck out, and I'm acting. So it's like a lot. But the thing is, I see my background in the back, and I say to them, guys, thank you so much. I am so grateful for your patience. Like, we're just going to do one more rehearsal and we're going to get this thing, just enjoy observing, and I get back into it. But just me saying that, or me saying something funny and just like trying to crack a joke.
It is pressure. It is pressure, because I'm sure you sensed it. Like at the beginning of the podcast, I was kind of like, fuck, you know?
Yeah, a little. You're nervous, but I'm just like, it's okay. Just take a deep breath.
But like what you said is because it's like all the logistics, you know, like today is a small team, you know? Yeah. And then like the renting the space and then bringing the stuff. I'm just like, fuck, you know? Yeah. But, you know, you do have to kind of breathe and
take a deep breath. But it's
whatever.
just like if you make people feel comfortable, you'll have a better experience. And then everybody leaves like feeling inspired, or everybody feels like, man, I had a really good time.
I think for myself, like from this experience, I'm like, dude, I just gotta like over prepare in terms of like, for example, the space here. Like I should have just booked it for like another hour, just so that I'm not, that I'm not feeling like more pressured.
And that's how you learn, though. That's how you learn, like from those experiences. Like how many times did I freaking forget an extension cord or tape in a set? That I'm just like the little things. And now for my next shoot, I have my list. I'm like extension cord, tape, you know what I mean? It's like extra batteries because the camera died, and I'm like, we have to wait for it to charge. Like, you know what I mean? You don't want that. So it's just like you think about all the mistakes first that could happen, and then you like, and if you make a mistake, you learn from it. It's like, what can you do?
No, and it's a good thing, like me learning from this experience, and then you too learning from my, not mistakes, but like little details where I could have maybe adjusted and made the whole production better. Not saying that this production is.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
It's fine. But forget, book it for another hour, you know? Like,
no, that's what I just thought. I was just like,
it's fine. It's like, what's the big deal? Like $100? Like, okay, like money comes and goes. Like I never allow the thought of money to control me. Money is such a powerful.
Yeah, because then it's like idol worshiping. When something outside of yourself is like dictating how you feel internally, is like, it's a sense of idol worshiping. It's like that's a biblical term. And so like we need to not do that, because that's not like from God, right?
Absolutely.
So,
if you think you're poor, you're poor.
Yeah.
If you think you are rich, you are rich. Like I say, the way that you see things in this world, like with money to me is like an energy. It's like
it is. In my view, it is energy.
It's energy, and it's like if you give it a lot of power to take over you, and you create problems in your family, in your life with money, it's just like you're giving it too much power, and you shouldn't. You should be focusing on gratitude, on love, on the little things in life. Like if I buy a stranger coffee in the street, you know, just because I had like a feeling of like, you know what, I want to give this person a coffee today. That person, all of a sudden, maybe they were like in a bad mood, and they're like, wow, that was really nice of this person. And I've already brought an effect on that person, and it's already like their energy's already transitioned to feeling better, and other people will sense that about that person. Like bringing it back to the people at the top, it's just like everybody in a way is at the top because you create the domino effect.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you matter. You matter. Like the littlest things that you do, when you smile at a stranger, when you are just
it's like the butterfly effect.
Yeah, it's a butterfly effect, and it's like, and it could change your life. It's incredible, and there's so many interviews, podcasts that I've heard of that, and I always agree. I'm just like, yep, so true. Yeah. So whenever you're feeling like shitty, stressed, like literally take a deep breath and think about something that you're grateful, and then just tell yourself it's going to be okay. You're not going to die. Like that's like if you're when you're dead, like okay,
like
you
the
died,
most
like,
important thing the most important things, like the worst thing that could happen is you die. That's the worst thing that could happen. The most important things, like the money and all those little details, those aren't the most important things. The most important things are like family, your faith, and I mean
support. And the thing is, the more that you love, the more you will attract other people to love you, and you will create that community, and you will never be homeless. You will never be in the streets or in a low point. Like you really, but you need to love yourself first. That's the thing that a lot of people forget is like, and so many, oh man, I can talk for hours. It's just like about being insecure or just like not being confident in yourself. And that's just because of years of people maybe telling you that you are like worthless or a piece of shit, and that gets to your head. But you need to start healing yourself and start with just looking at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm proud of you. Like I'm proud of you. And
I'm proud of you.
I really am. Like, I'm proud of you. Like, for being alive.
I was actually telling myself that last week. I was talking to myself. I talk to myself sometimes, and like out loud.
It's okay,
and I was telling myself like those little things, because sometimes you have to give yourself a pep talk.
Yeah, you have to say.
Especially when you're like building something,
Yeah.
you know, that's special to yourself. You got to have those talks with yourself. But I
Yeah.
wanted to transition a little bit, like since we are coming to the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think comedy can do for the world?
Comedy, I think comedy is an escape because, like, it's hard. Living is hard sometimes. And it's just like when you are going through so much shit and you sit down and you just like watch something funny or watch a comedian that just like makes you laugh. In a way, it's healing to your heart. It's a healing to your soul because it's creating something in you that's laughing. And who doesn't like to laugh? Like everybody loves to laugh. You know what I mean? People want to connect with those that can make you laugh. I love to entertain. Like I did a little bit of stand up and just like seeing people laugh, it's just a way of me connecting with them. And it's just like, I love that. So humor is a medicine for a lot of people.
I think so too.
It's just like, yeah, apply it wherever you can. Like make a joke here and there. Don't take life so seriously. Okay, Harold. All right, Harold, you're cool. Like, do you see what I just did right there? It's just like, here I am, like doing faces, being weird, and people are just like, oh my God, what are they gonna think of me? Oh my God, like.
It is what it is.
You know what I mean? But it's just like, it's you being like vulnerable. It's like me being vulnerable. Like, I don't care. Like, see me like this. Like, think what you want to think. It's like whatever you think of me is a reflection of you. Whatever you think of me is a reflection of you. And it's like that with anybody, like whatever, even me, like when I see somebody that I'm just like, oh my God, like, ew. I really don't really think like that. But if I did, it would be a reflection of me.
For sure.
It's just like,
and I mean, we're not perfect.
We're not.
Like,
we all have.
We always have to correct ourselves.
Exactly.
When we do make mistakes and stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, this has been great.
Yeah. I think.
Any other questions?
Yeah, no,
please. I like to talk.
No,
oh my
I
God.
I had like one more that I thought of like last second.
Let's talk for like 3 hours, guys.
I know. This one actually went longer than I expected.
Oh, really? Great. That means we're doing something right.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, you touched up on the like the inspiration and then what comedy could do for the world. I guess.
What do you want to do?
What I want to do. Help people, help companies, help brands, connect people like yourself and just talented people, talented people with the people that have the money, I guess, or the funding and create more abundance for the world, and help continuing to impact others and bringing that light to the world so that we can all live more happily and live how you envision yourself to live, like that's kind of like what my mission is,
You said something about like happiness comes and goes. I just feel like it's such an overly word that's just like, oh, I strive to be happy, and it's like, I think we forget that like that life is such a wave, right?
For sure.
Like when you go to a hospital and you see like your heartbeat, it's an up and down. If you look at the ocean, it's waves, right? And it's like, just as like, even like menstrual cycles for women, it's like, we have I know I'm so aware of my menstrual cycle that I am even aware when I'm PMSing and I'm being the biggest bee like ever. And I catch myself because I'm just like, oh man, this is what's happening right now. But I try, like those are the times that I have to be so kind to myself more than ever. And give myself a little bit of grace for my thoughts because sometimes I want to vent and sometimes I'm not saying the nicest things because I'm human. We're all human and we're always comparing ourselves and everything like that. But then there's days like I'm crying for no freaking reason. And I'm like, why am I crying? But do you see it's such a pattern? It's just like moments where I'm really high and happy. But then the thing is with that joy and happiness, like say after you come from a trip, it's just like you experience so many highs that you
Yeah.
come back and you get so depressed, right? But it's just you're just a part of that wave. So if you're experiencing like depression or sadness,
Yeah.
sit with it, like live with it a little bit.
For sure.
But don't stay there.
Yeah.
Come back up. Because you have to like, you'll get the energy tomorrow to maybe work out or see a friend, go on a hike. And it's like I think for me, it's just remembering to stay present.
For sure.
That is like my key to happiness is, or even when even when I'm sad, it's just my being present with my sadness, being present and being aware of my now. Because it's such a journey. Life is such a journey, but it's just like we're so quick to want to reach the destination that we forget to enjoy the now. Like we get so caught up on other people's lives or our own thoughts or our past. Don't live in your past.
Yeah.
Like do not, because you're creating that pattern and you're manifesting your past again. So it's like, why do you think about like sometimes like you break up with your ex-boyfriend and all of a sudden it's like 2 weeks later you're talking to somebody new, but he has all the same qualities as your ex.
You're learning the same
it's like
lesson through a different person.
Yeah, it's because you're so used to like your past that you're attracting that. But
Yeah,
it's like
100%.
you really have to like write down what you want, envision it, manifest it, be it.
Yeah, be it. For sure.
Be present.
Be present.
Oh my God. I'm like so like not funny today. I'm sorry. I'm like so serious. It's
No,
like the
you're good.
serious
It's-
Yubi,
it's-
but I swear I'm really funny.
The funny thing is, I blame myself because, like what I said from the beginning,
why are you blaming yourself?
because I was more serious earlier.
You're good.
'cause
It's all
We're
good.
married. Nah, you're good. But no, I do appreciate you for being here today. It really
Yeah.
means a lot. Hopefully the
This has been
audience
so
did
great.
get something, like a little nugget from what we produced here today.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to binge watching your
My series on
your
YouTube.
series. And,
you.
And then coming to your party, the watch party. And
Yes.
seeing that one right
That's
there.
going to
That'll
be
cool.
fun. I'm
I'll
excited.
bring like some tacos or something. I don't know
Oh man,
what
there's
I'll
gonna be
bring.
a lot of food. I want to
Oh,
get
yeah.
like a lot of like food vendors, like pupusas, like people with their like little individual like businesses with food. I love food.
Yeah,
But yeah,
You're
it's gonna
telling
be
me.
really good. It's gonna be a good event. I'm
Cool.
very excited, and I really love what you're doing.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing,
you.
and I hope you can continue to bring on people who can inspire others.
For sure.
And you know, just continue that wave of positivity, because the worlds that we are creating is that.
For sure.
And I want to stay here, you know? I want
No,
to
for
stay in
sure.
this,
Thank you,
this
thank you.
bubble of love and positivity. It's great. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, that wraps up our episode. I can't think what I was gonna tell you, but it's all
Yeah,
good.
no,
It is
it's
what
all
it
good.
is.
We covered a lot.
And we did cover a lot. I just want to say thank you again, Yubi,
Yeah.
for being on the Hefe Media podcast. Until next time, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.